right, so when we manage our AB operator certificates and Keams, we're going to skip around a little bit. I'm going to show you what Keams currently looks like versus what it's going to look like in the newer version. And then the process is just slightly different for those of you that are renewing versus those of you that are new operators. And why isn't it? Okay.
All right.
And you all know that a site must be associated with at least one valid AB operator to be in compliance. Then Tank Management Services trains our AB operators, as you all know, but it's the responsibility of the individual or company to send that notice to KPHE. So if you go to class and we never receive the notice from you, then we have no record of an AB operator at your site. So we do need some sort of record to be sent in, at least one valid record per site. Certifications can be managed by the individual, so the AB operator themselves, or the company, or both. We're going to go over that at the end. It's going to be the authorized user function. So determine what's best for your locations. You might do it differently than Casey's, or you might manage it, and you might be a large organization that's managing multiple AB operators and multiple sites. The process, like we said, is slightly different for those that are renewing versus new AB operators. So we're going to go over that a little bit now. For our new operators, at least in this version, in the newer version, the objective is always going to be to find this UST AB operator new application or form. So our new operators, they can go ahead and log into Keams right away. So you can go in and find Keams by going to this link, or you can directly go to the Keams homepage with this link. Again, this is just our website and how you get to Keams. You can sign in with an existing account. Some of you that are administrators for sites right now already have a Keams account. Some of you AB operators might not have an account. And again, this is just what our new operators are doing right now. So if you're a new operator and you don't have a Keams account yet, you can create a Keams account. But if you already have a Keams account, you can sign in with an existing one. If you're signing in with an existing account, forgot password is always an option there. Again, your password is your username that you used. So your email address that you used to set up the account is your username. And then if you forgot your password, go through there. Your email address. And this is what Keams currently looks like. So when you sign in, you're again going to find this BER UST storage tank operator new application. To find that, you're going to go to apps, requests, and reports, and then you're going to start a new form. This particular one is if you were to sign in as a site. So the site is selected up here, but what you're gonna always do is go apps, requests, and reports, new form. Some of you that just created an account, you're not going to see a site selected at the top. You'll have fewer options on the left, but again, it's just the same thing. Apps, requests, and reports, start new form. This little box will pop up. You'll say all other forms. And then here is that application. You'll scroll down and look for it under the BER tanks heading. And when you begin the submission here, this box will pop up and it'll ask you like this new person's name. And that's where you're going to want to type the full name of the AB operator. That again could be yourself, or it could be your employee if you're just filling out the paperwork for them. This, when you type this in, this is how it shows on our end, so in our database. So you really do want to be sure to type it in as you see it on the AV operator certificate. We don't want 100 Tims in our database and then to not know their last names. So yeah. Now we skipped to what it's going to look like in a matter of a few weeks. So the interface is going to change a little bit. In a few weeks, our new version, you're still looking for the same form, and the form's going to look the same once we get into it. But you're just going to find it in a slightly different way. In this way, instead of apps, requests, and reports, you're going to click Start New Form, and then you'll click I want to start a new application. And from there, here is that same application, and begin. And here we are where we're just selecting create a new person, and then it's my name here. So kind of the same process, it just looks slightly different. Here's what our renewing operators are going to do. And the objective for a renewing operator is to find this form in the system. It's titled slightly different because it won't have that new at the end. So taking a quick look at that, our renewing operators, what we're trying to do is there's already a record in our database of this operator. So we're trying to connect you to your external or to your account. So in this case, you're going to want to wait for an email from one of us. When you went to TMS or Tank Management Services, the operator training, you should have provided an email to them. And that's what we'll send. It'll come from Keen's admin. It's going to be an invite to be an administrator of an account. Here's a little look at what mine looks like. It looks slightly confusing because it's my name and then I'm inviting myself. But again, it's from Keen's admin, and then it'll be to be an administrator. I'll click this little link to accept the invite. If I already have a Keen's account, at that point, I'll just log into the Keen's account and I'll see that this person, in this case myself, was added to my list up here. So when I click in the gray box, I'll see my name. But if you don't yet have a Keen's account in your renewing operator, you can create a Keen's account. And once you log in, you should see your name up there on the left. So at that, you're going to find the application titled Renewal. So the AV operator certification renewal. In this case, how it looks right now, I'll select my name in the left, go to permits and registrations, and then I'll see this permit record. You can see that this is the date that I was issued an AV operator certificate, and this is my expiration date. Clear to the right over here, there's 3 little dots, and you're going to click that and then click view permit change forms. So here's that view permit change forms. And you'll only get one option. It's going to be to begin the permit change submission for the AV operator certification renewal form. And I'm going to show you what it'll look like in a few weeks. Again, just the interface changes, not the form itself. Same idea. I'm selecting my name as the AV operator. I'm starting a new form. And instead of saying that I want to start a new application, I'm clicking that I want to renew, modify, or terminate an existing permit, license, or registration, because again, I already have one. And then it'll give me one option because that's the certification that I have. So I'll begin the renewal. Now we're going to look at the form real quick. All of these, you'll just click a box that says begin form entry. And they all look pretty much the same. So we're in the form itself right now. It's not very long compared to our permit renewal form. It asks you your name, some contact info. Again, I don't care if you just put your work address here. You can do that, absolutely. Your operator ID is on your certificate. It's all pretty straightforward once you're in here. You're gonna wanna put your certification date and your expiration date. Here, these parts are required, so you're gonna wanna know what facilities you wanna be an AV operator for. So you'll go ahead and put that information here. And again, you can add rows, so you can do multiple facilities. I do believe there's a limit to how many AV operators can, is that 10, Marcus?
10, yes.
10 sites for AV operators. So you can go up to 10 here. I do think the rule is you have to live within how many?
4 hours.
Within 4 hours. Thank you. I meant to ask you that earlier. I'm learning. And then here, very important that you attach a picture of your AV operator certificate. We will not approve your application unless you have a picture of that certificate in here. So you'll want to upload that. And then review is, of course, you're just looking over everything you've already filled out. And then you're selecting certify and submit. And that's really the end of the form. It is pretty straightforward once you find them. Here, I told you that I'd go over authorized users. This is a good tool for you, especially if it's a larger organization and you're managing multiple sites with multiple AV operators. On here, you're going to come down and select authorized users and then invite users to join. You can maybe invite your supervisors would be a good idea, or people that handle environmental compliance at your organization. That way they can actually track and make sure that they have at least one employee at all times that has a valid AV operator certificate. And they can again see when you're due to expire. That way they can send you back to class, or they can send multiple people to class. Okay. At that, and I guess we can go over, you can actually have a record of what you've submitted by clicking documents, and you can print out a copy of your application that you sent to us. So you'll see it under documents. In this case, it's only if you've selected whoever's name here in the left, and then you'll see a record of their application if you select documents. And then you can see whatever we have on file as far as what sites you are an AV operator for by selecting details. Then go to relations, and you'll see whatever sites that you're an AV operator for that we have on record. Okay, and I do believe that is it. So if we are going to open it up for Q&As, but if you have any questions after the fact, this is our general email for this group.
And I was just going to pop in real quick, just as a reminder, we will have all of these webinars posted on our website. We'll post this in the chat, and then also with that, we also have the tank info. If you think of a question down the road and don't get to ask it here, you can always send that to the tank info, and I believe we'll include that in with the chat also. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started on the Q&A. Please, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the Q&A, and we'll start trying to get to them.